So operational technology security has gone from a niche conversation into a board level conversation very quickly. And in the landscape of security in general, right, the whole concept of OT, I think at one point was a very archaic technology that was in a lot of these places, whether it's industrial or manufacturing or engineering, has now turned into a full-blown interest beyond just the production of what those systems are supposed to do. Those teams now want access to technology to speed up efficiencies, which means opening the door to newer vendors and newer types of technology and new tech, which ultimately comes with new risk, right? I think the ultimate goal here, right, is most companies that have some type of OT presence, like if you look at the corporate world that has OT presence, is manufacturing and engineering type organizations, right? On the back end of those manufacturing and engineering companies, that's the lifeblood of those companies, right? If you're a manufacturing company, you're manufacturing something in these plants, right, that needs to go out the door, onto trucks, into people's homes, right? There comes a level of efficiency that has to happen amongst those plants. Naturally, those companies are looking for more ways to speed up that production, which means you can't be relying on the old OT systems of years past. You have to be upgrading that technology. And like I said, upgrading that technology comes with new security risks. So I think the reason why these OT conversations, especially in manufacturing and engineering, have reached board level room conversations is because they're so open to, and they're open to risk. And that risk now isn't just a cyber risk, that's a risk to the company making money, hitting numbers quarterly and yearly. And I think that's the reason why boards and organizations that leverage OT systems to create a production environment that is the lifeblood of the company are so now open to these conversations around what are we doing from an OT standpoint? How are we assessing it? How are we evaluating it? How are we making sure it isn't prone to attacks, and not even cyber attacks, right? How are we making sure these systems are up and running 24/7 like they need to be? So I think that's the reason why we're really seeing Direct Defense's presence in the OT space, not specifically on just cyber threats, but it really comes down to what systems do these OT devices have access to? What people in the organization have access to these systems? What products and technology can we be using to guarantee uptime, to guarantee less risk exposure? There's so much that Direct Defense can do in that space. And I think that's the reason why you're seeing the board level take such an interest in this topic of OT and security.